Welcome to Monarchist Minute. I'm your host, William Stout, here with Vice Clemens Magnolia, who can't speak right now, and formerly Water Cube, Georges P., our
Hello.
new ideology co-chair. Congratulations, Water Cube.
Moving up there in the world.
Yes, indeed.
How much you
Unfortunately, our former chair, Ulysses, stepped down for personal reasons. He is still in good standing and plans on participating in the organization, and we wish him the best in the future. So, 'twas 4 days before New Year's.
wait, what?
Hard to believe the next year. Can you not hear me or?
You just cut out really badly, my friend.
Oh, sorry. I
You're fine.
said so. 4 days till New Year's. Hard to believe
Yeah, no,
2025 is next year. I mean, next
yeah, no,
week.
that's shocking. 2025 feels like it should be like at least 3 years away, or at least another year. Like, I think everyone's still somewhat recovering from the COVID 1 year disappearing from their lives.
Honestly, I thought this year went by fairly decent pace, but this last month flew by. To be
For me,
frank, I was
I'm sorry.
To be frank, I was praying for it to fly by because it was taking way too long to get the shutdown. And now I'm here on shutdown and I'm mad because I'm already down 1 week.
Yeah.
Because I've caught up on all my sleep. Now, the fun part is spending the next week getting back on sleep schedule.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, do you drink caffeine?
Not regularly and not in large amounts because caffeine and I don't get along.
Okay, like what I do, what I actually am doing because I have guests visiting soon is resetting my sleep cycle by just not drinking any caffeine for a day or two, and that tends just to fix it on its own or help a lot.
Yeah, I was up till 2 in the morning last night, so I'm gonna try and get to bed early. One, because I have church in the morning. Two, because that's just not acceptable to me.
Yeah, uh, understandable.
Yeah, and I even set an alarm clock for next week, so I'm gonna try and get up every day. Otherwise, when it comes time for the 6th, 4:30 in the morning is gonna hit me like a freight train.
Yeah,
So, what's been going on in your world, Water Cube?
not much, not much. A lot of it's just kind of the same old, same old. I'm trying to think if
You were
anything's really.
talking about you
Oh
were
yeah.
talking about some beef on Twitter, though.
Oh, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are fighting it out with the Groypers on Twitter.com.
Oh
Included
yeah,
an alleged alternate account by Elon Musk, which he joined a Twitter space on with a shitty voice changer.
oh yeah,
Like,
over immigration policy.
over an H-1B visa, which like both sides are just kind of dumb.
So what exactly started this? Because I'm just as confused by it.
I think it was Vivek Ramaswamy talking about expanding the like H-1B visa program, but also like calling American work culture kind of useless and stupid. Like I
He
think
did a really bad job of actually trying to get his point across. I mean, I think he had a legitimate point, but I'll be honest, he really.
oh, no, yeah, no, he came across like a West Coast liberal talking
Yeah.
about middle America.
Hey, you
That
guys
man was
cut out.
Chan Bill Clinton.
I think I cut out what y'all say.
No, he did it in a terrible way where he channeled a West Coast like liberal, like being all smarmy about middle America. saying that like the society that champions the footballer and not the valedictorian.
The prom queen and the jock instead of the valedictorian and the what is it, the math Olympiad or whatever.
Yeah,
like
whatever.
Okay, this is such a nerd thing to say. I'm sorry, but like I say that as someone who is a nerd. Like, dude, this, oh my gosh.
Like, don't be a dweeb on the national stage.
Yeah.
You see, I've seen it also worded as, rich tech bros versus red-blooded Americans.
That can kind of be a narrative if you really want to put it like that, but it's like what they're arguing about, like, which is the H-1B visa. I might be confusing this with the H-2B visa, but the H-1B visa has preferential hiring for Americans anyway. So if an American applies for the job, and even if they are less qualified, they get hired anyway. So, like, I don't understand the issue.
Is that the H-1B? Hold on. H.
It might have been the H-2B I was thinking of. This I was looking into this.
Let me just do a quick Google.
So it might just be another wonderful case of people who don't know what they're talking about, acting absolutely stupid online. Good to know.
I was confusing with the H-2B, but I think there's still preferential treatment for Americans with both. Because the H-2B is for seasonal agricultural workers, but I think they're close enough where, again, like American preferential hiring because they don't want to compete with Americans for jobs. Like, I think anyone, Democrat or Republican, would know that would not go over well with the voting base whenever they came up with these visas.
And I saw someone complaining about America becoming overran with Indians. I'm like, that's not even going to happen.
So true. So true. So true, brother.
I don't get it. That's why I kind of made the post on Twitter with the mobile account. It's like, we're making a lot of generalizations about 2 billion people and what immigrants coming from India are.
Yeah, but it's like, this is Twitter, and this is like Twitter discourse specifically that somehow matters in the real world, which is a terrifying thing to say.
Well, it's a communication platform, and people communicating on Twitter does, in fact, have real-world implications.
Well, yeah, but it's like, there's kind of just... Twitter.com used to be the silly place that you'd browse while you were pooping in like 2015 to 2017. Even before that.
And now it's a serious platform for political discourse.
It's now... This is just kind of crazy to me. I don't know. The more I look at it, the more I'm like, okay, this is the kind of society we're having. Okay.
Now, what I like seeing is people argue about why Twitter clones are superior, and yet they keep coming back to Twitter. I don't get it.
The issue is that the Twitter clones, they do the thing that anytime like a liberal or a leftist seeds an online space, most of the time to like neo-Nazi guys, like the Groypers, like what ends up happening is they overcorrect and make it a big hug box that doesn't allow other, like, it's not like, for example, Blue Sky, it's not that bad. But there are people that will react very viscerally for just responding to their posts.
I will say there is one good thing that came out of this, and it's the fact that a bunch of Groypers just got banned.
Oh yeah, no, the great purges are starting.
I've noticed that the Groypers are ending, and at first I noticed, especially compared to last year, that things have been getting a lot better. So I feel like it was mainly just we needed time for the community to self-correct.
No. We need you just to let the right wing govern. And that's how you get rid of the radicals.
Really?
Yeah, they like genuinely. Like, nothing better fractures the right than letting them govern. Same thing with the left. Basically, if you give people power, they start fighting.
It's a whole lot easier to be opposition than it is to actually be in government.
It really is.
The thing that I do like out of like Trump coming to office, right, is that the Democrats are considering making a shadow cabinet, and I think that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Shadow cabinet. I've heard it
It's
used
basically
particularly in context of the British government, but
Well, the British government has an actual functional shadow cabinet, but the problem with the idea of a U.S. shadow cabinet is that it doesn't exactly fit with how it really works because, of course, a cabinet is, in the U.S. sense, isn't made up of members of the elected assembly. It's simply just people that the president appoints, and then they get it confirmed by the Senate. So the shadow cabinet, at least from what Wiley Nickel, I don't like him very much, sorry, but I don't like him. But from what he stated, it was him just shoving a bunch. He just saying that they would shove a bunch of Democrats into the positions to basically say, Trump, what Trump do bad.
yeah.
Like,
Well,
I know it's a massive generalization, but that's basically what it is. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it just doesn't. It doesn't really make sense in the U.S. system because the U.S. system isn't structured where a shadow cabinet really works.
yeah, but it's whimsical and cool, and I like it.
so what exactly?
you and your whimsy.
Like, at the
So
end of the
what
day, oh, sorry.
So what exactly are they trying to do to build this shadow council? How are they trying to set
The
this up?
shadow council, yes, it's the shadow council now.
It makes it sound so much more dramatic. I think they're just like appointing people they would have appointed and said, this is what we would have done when Trump does the thing we don't like, which is kind of just what Labor shadow cabinets have been doing since like the 60s.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
like, it's
basically they're being petty.
I mean,
it's-
depends on who it is, though. Some of them, yes. Other ones, no.
It's like, oh, the government made a mistake here. This is the policy we would have done that we think would like have these results, which is like it's not the worst thing. Like it seems petty, but it's also at the same time kind of them like putting the money where their mouth is on actually having policy compared to just saying we could have done better. Smile, trust.
Yeah. I mean, the fact of the matter is Nichols' proposal won't go anywhere because he's not going to be in Congress anyways. Although he's probably going to try and run for the Senate. But even if he does, depending on if Cooper runs, he'll be like every other non-selected candidate in a North Carolina Democratic primary, basically getting lynched.
The way
Very
you
often
worded that.
It sucks to suck, I guess. Like,
I mean, well, you think I'm joking? It's not really a joke. It's basically what happens. If you're not the predetermined candidate, you basically just get lynched in the primary.
yeah, no, like you're there to be a straw man to attack at that point.
Yeah, you're basically just a massive straw man they use to attack on, and your entire political campaign dies. You have no other chance of ever getting into political power. It's basically just a way to kill off anyone they don't like.
Sounds like the federal primaries too.
Federal primaries are more competitive.
Federal primaries are actually more competitive, but I mean, even in a federal primary, like it's not really that much in North Carolina. Like, what is it?
Except for the
20
Democrat primaries.
Yeah, not at least not in North Carolina. I mean, well, in certain Democratic primaries, it's really not though. Like the national one is the national one is a whole separate thing. But in North Carolina, yeah.
You
The
see,
Green Party national conventions and primaries are a bloodbath, even though they don't matter.
Yeah, like just looking through all of them. Like usually in North Carolina, it's some random white guy who trounces the African American candidate. If you're wondering why I said lynch, there was a reason. Because it's usually just what happens.
you see, if it were up to me, primaries wouldn't be a thing, and instead we would just have ranked choice voting, and all the candidates get put on the ballot. Then, as they drop,
I think that is a terrible idea.
I think the party should appoint them.
I kind of agree, yeah, with that. Honestly, like I know that's like really kind of, I don't want to say bureaucratic, like elitist, quote unquote. But there's a legitimate point to say that though, because the fact that I think ranked choice voting in that sense, or even like the jungle system they have in California, is a terrible idea. I think it's much better if there's actual like closed primaries. I think a closed primary is better, but I think the party should just appoint them anyways.
Oh, no.
Because I think ranked choice voting is really bad because it even closed primaries isn't bad though because you can get the worst possible candidate who just has enough of a certain base to be the candidate to win. That's another reason why I think the Virginia primary system is, quite frankly, I think one of the better ones, honestly.
What's theirs?
I don't even know how mine works. I'm gonna be honest.
So y'all are like a semi-ranked choice within the party, though.
Oh yeah,
Remember, it was like the
affiliated with any
convention,
party.
like the convention system where I remember what is it? Youngkin won because of the fact that it basically it was like a sort of like ranked choice voting.
But no, I didn't mean like a jungle primary. I mean, there just isn't a primary. If someone wants to run, you sign up to run, and then we all just.
Oh, so you want Louisiana?
Yeah, when you get to the general election, everyone's on the ballot, and if they drop out early before we get to the general election, we just scratch them off the ballot.
You can't do that though.
Um,
You fool! You utter fool! Well, you think you can just remove a candidate like that?
I thought it was a good idea.
This is the United States.
Oh, Watercube said his computer crashed. He'll be back.
Okay, but no, dude, that's not how it works. Yeah, it takes a lot to get someone's name removed off of the freaking thing.
So, did you hear any more about who might be replacing J.D. Vance as senator?
No idea. No idea. There's a few possibilities on who Governor DeWine could appoint, but no one really knows exactly who he's going to appoint. We just got to wait until Vance resigns from his seat when he becomes vice president.
I think I heard somewhere just talk that Vivek might take it.
Oh no, I don't know way. There's no freaking way that DeWine will appoint him.
I can't remember what I heard. The rumor is either Vivek might take it or Vivek might run for governor, but he's actually from Ohio, and
Yeah, he is from Ohio. I've heard that he might run for something in Ohio, but I think he's kind of killing his chances with everything that's happening.
it'll be a tough race for him because apparently somehow Ohio is currently the most racist state in the union. And I don't know how that happened.
Just Midwestern and New English states whenever they see an African American.
New England isn't bad, but when you look at the
New England is incredible. No,
When
New
you
England
see all
is...
the neo-Nazi like clubs and chapters up there, you start to understand how bad it really is. There's a reason why they call Alabama the Boston of the South.
Yeah. Like, you do know that Patriot Front was originally from Connecticut, right?
Like,
No.
okay, like I think that's a little unfair to say because they did also split off from a Southern organization in a Discord coup d'état.
It's so fucking stupid.
Imagine you're at Unite the Right. You just witness like some lady get run over by a car by a fucking Nazi who decided to go a little haywire. You get home, you see you're locked out of your big poopin' fartin' movement that you've built because some guy in his like 20s in Houston, Texas decided, yeah, this is mine's now.
I love the fact that, and I'm saying this completely self-aware of who we are and where we're currently hosting this podcast, but massive global, like massive world-changing political movements that have like are just spontaneously forming on Discord. And like,
Okay, I wouldn't give Patriot Front that much credit. Like, they're still small fries. What they got is the sticker racket going for them.
Well, I'm not saying they're big as in like they hold power or they hold office. I'm just saying they're big as in people like to use them as a straw man.
Well, yeah, because like they got that sticker racket, so
They're-
you always
yeah,
see their
exactly.
stickers.
Yeah, you see the stickers, and so they're kind of there.
Like I saw a
They're
sticker
very
in
easy to point at because of the fact that they're at least somewhat active.
Well, like they pretend to be active by having
Yeah,
that
that's
fucking
true.
sticker quota. I love how it's a pyramid scheme. Why are all like the fascistic or neo-Nazi racialist organizations pyramid schemes? That's the one consistency.
It's because
I
that's
wonder
who their
why.
wives are. Neo-Nazi husband, MLM mom, wife.
Well, some MLMs are also Nazi fronts. Like one of them was
I
like one of those
believe
weird.
it.
We live in
They're
a
already
broken
based on
society.
They're already
We live in a
based on mutual
society.
information. I
Like,
110% believe it.
do you think things will get better or will things get worse?
I think
What
things
team are
are
you
gonna
on?
get funny regardless.
I think we'll have to wait and see. But all I know is I am going to wear my "I really wish I weren't living through a historical event right now" button. I'm gonna keep wearing that. Thank you very much.
Are you kidding? I'm actually enjoying it. This
I
is the most
really wish I weren't living through a
time.
historical event right now.
I'm enjoying the beauty of the arts created by this suffering. Post Vaporwave with the hit album Pikachu Noticed the Weed is a wonderful piece.
Pikachu
Oh, I mean,
noticed the what?
I've been exploring new genres of music. A lot of it is like I don't know how to quantify. They called themselves post vaporwave. And
Post vapor. What does
it's
that even
after
mean?
it's after vaporwave, I guess. Like that's all I really
What?
understand. And it sounds like it's after vaporwave, including the horror exploration of Super Mario 64. I'll show you some of it later. It is very fascinating what people are cooking up out of boredom and access to easy music technology. Because that's the thing. People talk about, oh, the death of art, everything's just MCU slop, everything's just slop this, slop that. There's art for people to see it if they just seek it out. Because, like, there's 100 animators right now making great art, not 100, probably like thousands to hundreds of thousands on YouTube right now, and you can just go find their stuff. You can go find music that might be the best music you've ever heard, and it's just somewhere on Bandcamp. You have to actually search for it, but people always want to just deal with the skin deep, what they can easily grab a hold of and not search for. God, that was a rant. I'm sorry.
You truly are the art dude of this movement. You are the
Art
big,
connoisseur.
the thick glasses wearing ascot having only drinks craft beers.
I only drink muscadine wine and Jameson.
Exactly.
I smoke my cigars.
Muscadine wine, though. I really have. Muscadine wine is like the sophisticated redneck wine.
I wouldn't go that far because, like, the first time I tried it, I just bought it from a guy on the side of the street. He was just selling it in his yard. I love Virginia so much.
Virginia's.
This is my favorite
always
state.
be our great Virginia.
I prefer the Virginian Marseille, personally.
I approve because I bought moonshine from literally a dude I worked with on the line. He told me he made moonshine in his trailer at home, and I said, I'll give you $25 if you bring me a quart of apple pie, and he brought me a quart of apple pie.
Oh,
we did the deal in the factory. What?
I love the mix of rural and urban. Suburban, if you will. Because, like, experiencing that, because I had a friend, same friend who, like, sometimes, like, comes up to me and say, hey, I have this homegrown weed. Like, he'll come up with me, oh, yeah, I got some moonshine from a buddy I do welding with.
Moonshine.
Yeah, it's just like, ah, man, I love that we have all the illicit substances. That's awesome. You just...
But no. $20 for a quart of apple pie moonshine? That's a steal.
Yeah, like... The only moonshine I've ever tried is not really, like, moonshine, technically. Like, it's the tax-stamped ABC store moonshine.
The cringe shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's, like, it's cheap enough, and if I'm grabbing Jameson, I might as well grab something else.
It's cheap enough. Don't be a coward. Buy moonshine from your local bootlegger.
It's like needing a plug for weed. It's the same issue.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair. If you don't have a guy.
Yeah, like, if you, like... Society doesn't have guys anymore. They just have like there's no moonshiners selling like moonshine on Snapchat like how people are selling like Percocet on Snapchat. And that's what we need in our society. That's how we know we've healed.
I would 110% support my local guy selling moonshine on Snapchat.
Like, who wouldn't? Everyone loves bootleg alcohol. It's not taxed. You get to piss off the ATF for one of the things that's not T or F. Like popcorn
Not
is a
to mention,
hero.
it's stronger and frankly higher quality most times.
Well, yeah, because it became like a craft, a familial craft passed from generation to generation. Again, I still think about popcorn. I'm assuming you like. Have you ever looked into the
Yeah, I used
moonshiners
to
in West
watch that
Virginia?
moonshiner show back in the day when it was on.
Yeah, like I think about that sometimes. I think about just how America is plentiful with culture, but we've become noseblind to it. I don't know. I've been thinking about culture a lot.
But yeah, this guy talked about how much money he makes on moonshine, and he told me literally the only reason he works in the factory is because of healthcare. He just needs the health insurance, that's all. And if that wasn't the most American thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. We need to bring back the tradition of making Applejack.
Isn't the stuff that makes you go blind?
Yeah, if you're stupid and drink too much of it, like that's natural selection. Like what it'll most likely do if you drink too much of it and you don't go blind is that you get the world's worst hangover, which will teach you not to drink too much of it.
So what exactly is
Hi,
Applejack?
Dad.
It's a freeze distilled cider. So basically what they used to do, at least in colonial America, up until like it kind of went out of fashion, is you would get these buckets of apples, kind of let them ferment and stuff. And then when it gets cold outside, it would freeze. And what you do is you'd scrape off the first layer of ice, and then there'd be a lot of the alcohol just left over because the ice, it freezing removes the water from it and thus raises the alcohol percentage. So it's not normal distillation, it's freeze distillation.
And the problem is it would leave too much of the methanol behind, I'm supposing.
Yeah, that's why it gives you a worse hangover, but it's also why it's safe to do with store-bought cider. I think it like there's less wood alcohols in there or something with the process they make it. Do you make it commercially or something? I've heard. I might be wrong there though, so don't quote me on it. But also, like, it's not enough methanol really to make you go blonde. You'd have to be chugging not gallons, I think like a couple liters of it. And if you're already doing that, you're gonna probably die of alcohol poisoning first.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But I think, like, I don't know. Again, I've been like culture brained, and I'm like, what can we do just to have some traditions, you know? I don't know.
Speaking of moonshine, a couple days ago in pics and videos, I posted a video of Irish people drinking backwoods moonshine, and that was hilarious. I love the fact that even though America doesn't quote unquote have a drinking culture, we make these alcoholic beverages and these like refined whiskeys that are like super potent compared to the rest of the world.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's like we have a drinking culture. We have a huge alcohol culture, but it's just like, again, it's that issue of immersion where it's like kind of normal for someone to try to sneak a beer, sneak some alcohol when they're like 16, and then as they get older, binge a bit through college. And that's kind of our drinking culture compared to the Swedish like variation, which my friends from Sweden have told me about multiple times, which is you binge drink when you're from 16 to around like 20, and then you never drink again.
It's just that we start later in life.
Yeah. So we tend to latch on to it a bit more, I guess, or something. I don't know. I don't remember what their argument was against American drinking culture exactly. But they know they're Swedish.
Yeah.
Make good music though. Sabaton's pretty good.
Oh yeah, certainly.
Pro metal as a whole is pretty good.
As we make our way to heaven, through the Nazi line.
Primo Victoria.
I have so many Sabaton songs on my playlist. I intentionally try and play certain songs at certain times whenever I know it's the day wherever the song that's being depicted. I mean, the event that's being depicted in the song, if it's the anniversary of that event.
Chronological order Sabaton.
Yes.
That would be a hell of a mixtape to post on YouTube or something. Like that'd be a lot of fun to make as well.
Like, I remember getting out of work on August 6th and immediately cranking Nuclear Attack on my playlist. Windows down and everything.
How'd you learn about Sabaton?
Memes. How does anyone learn about Sabaton?
I learned about it the true way, the proper way, which is Swedish guy telling me about Sabaton, trying to tell me about him talking about Swedish history.
I found it via Hoi4.
Did you buy the Sabaton Hoi 4 DLC? Were you the one guy to buy that?
No,
Okay.
I just saw it and I'm like, what the heck is Sabaton? I should listen to it. Okay, that's pretty cool.
I love the fact that Sabaton and Paradox just look at each other. It's like, we obviously have the same target demographic. Let's work together.
Yeah, well, it makes sense.
And the amazing part is there is a song made by Sabaton that is explicitly called Hearts of Iron, and it is a song that they made for the game Hearts of Iron.
They did not make it for the game. Heroes was out way before Hearts of Iron 4 was around, because I got a vinyl of it.
Oh, I thought that was a newer song where they made it.
No, that's from Heroes. I believe. No, not Heroes. No, it was Heroes.
So is it just a crazy coincidence, or?
Oh yeah, no, crazy coincidence. It's about the retreat of like the German army. I think it was like the 9th or something, and evacuating the civilians from Eastern Germany to the west to surrender to the Allies. And like the specific soldiers involved in that.
Right, I know the story behind the song.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I just thought they made the song for the game. Or in collab with Paradox.
I don't believe so.
Well, I know there's a DLC for EU4 where you can unlock all the songs from Carlos Rex, and that is really good. Because when you start the Religious League Wars, Lifetime at War will immediately start blaring over your computer speakers.
Okay, controversial take about the album Carlos Rex. I like the Swedish version more.
It depends on what mood I'm in. Because I'll be honest, because I don't speak Swedish, Lifetime at War hits completely differently in Swedish than it does in English.
Yeah, no, I get that. Like, I don't speak enough Swedish to understand it. But, like, I don't know. It's a funny fairy language that sounds magical, and I like hearing it in power metal. Especially when talking about their own history. Also, like, the Sabaton cover of their own national anthem.
I haven't heard this. I'm gonna have to look that up now.
I think it was an extra on the Carlos Rex Swedish album. Sabaton Swedish anthem. No, it was an Art of War. Live at the Sweden Rock Festival.
Okay, here's a question. What's the best album to come out of Sabaton?
I'm gonna go with the one, either Carlos Rex or Heroes, the two we've talked about. Those are my top two.
I do like Art of War.
Art of War's good. I think a lot of the songs on Art of War are pretty weak, though. Like, looking through...
I have to go with you. I think Heroes is best, just because Heroes has all of the hard stories in it about all the famous, like, Last Stands or Last Stand. That's another good album.
The Last Stand is pretty good. I think it got a little overrated, though, and that kind of takes away from it. Like, I got tired of seeing, like, for the grace of the might of the Lord everywhere for, like, 2 years.
I want to like The Great War, but I don't feel like it has enough songs on it.
The Great War suffers the same thing from that the Art of War does, which has some, like, weaker songs that try to be a narrative. Like, Cliffs of Gallipoli is a weak... That's kind of a weak one.
So I'm not the only one that thought it didn't hit right.
Like, it's way too plotting for those lyrics to try to be like as sentimental as they are. I don't know.
Stormtroopers is absolutely baller, though.
Stormtroopers is good.
That's my song where if I have to get like pumped up in a mood, that's the song I put full blast on when I'm in the car. Just because it just gets me fired up.
Understandable.
Now, what do you think the best Sabathon song is?
What's it called? And I can't remember the name. It's in Heroes. Do I have Heroes downloaded? No, I don't. Heroes Sabaton. To Hell and Back.
I never really liked the Hell and Back too much. Honestly, I think their best song is the one that's least like their style, and that's Bow of the Bull. Just because I think they really blossomed in that song, not with just making a metal song, but with making a really sentimental song.
A Ballad of the Bull is good. It's a good song. I can't really say anything to knock it, but it's just not my fave. Inmate 4859 is also pretty good.
That one is good.
Whittle Polchecki is just a badass dude. I remember doing a school report on him in high school, inspired by Heroes.
Any of their like heavier songs that have to do with like the Holocaust or Nazi Germany are just bangers. Like Death of Freedom, or I might have gotten the name wrong. You know which one I'm talking about, right?
Death of Freedom.
When Freed. Oh, Final Solution.
Yeah, Final Solution. Yeah. Final Solution's pretty good. Jesus.
That sounded so... Disclaimer, we are talking about the song.
We're talking about Sabaton's hit song from the album Coat of Arms. Final Solution. Coat of Arms is just a good album. But like, I feel as if the rest of the album is neglected for Coat of Arms itself. At least I might neglect it for that, because I really like Coat of Arms, the song.
Controversial opinion, I hate Rise of Evil. Like,
really?
It's not that it's a bad song, I just think it takes too long.
Well, okay, it's like, Rise of Evil is a long song, right? But like, I don't know, it deserves to be a long song. It deserves to be an 8-minute track. Yeah, it's not like Funeral Doom metal or like Doom metal or something where it's like, oh, it's supposed to take plotting, but it's kind of like... It honestly kind of has the vibes of Doom metal. Like, less so power metal, but more on that plotting, or like... It's earned it. It's earned the right to be 8 minutes long.
I'm not saying the song isn't about an important topic and it doesn't have a deep and important meaning to it. I just think it takes too long to listen to.
That's fair. It's just like...
Not to mention, it's very awkward to explain if you're listening to it with someone else in the car.
No, you just play it and then you like... That's why for every weird like Nazi-related song I have downloaded, I have like 2 weird communist songs downloaded. Then they don't know where I'm coming from. You put them in the playlist together, like you follow Rise of Evil up with Greetings to the Western Sector from the Khmer Rouge.
Or knowing what, or just like maybe some random pop music, like jump from Rise of Evil to Taylor Swift.
No, I think you would just... Okay, I remember seeing this thing about people like trying to talk about like Taylor being a secret Nazi and actually believing that. So like some Nazi guys were messaging me being like, yeah, we got Taylor Swift on our site. She represents the pure Aryan woman. So people started making playlists like that, unironically.
Oh.
We're in a broken society, dude. I'm so excited for the next 10 years.
So hilarious, though.
It's
This is why I want to live. This is why I want to be elf maxing. This is why I want to live in a house in the world because my fellow mankind is just.
What did I just rejoin on?
well, we're talking about the upcoming apocalypse because of how people are putting Rise of Evil after like from by Sabaton next to Taylor Swift music because they think Taylor Swift is a secret Nazi on their side. And how we're in a broken society and the next 10 years are going to be it could be interesting.
I like it.
Bro.
It's just woof.
Yeah, like we are losing that social contract around mutual violence real quick, real fast. And it's like it was already pretty much gone after like the third mass shooting, but like it's extra gone now. I've seen actual, you know, the guy who leaked Luigi, the guy who shot the CEO, his manifesto. Yeah. I'm in his Substack group chat, and people are trying to deify this guy.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of it. Yeah.
Yeah, like that plus like how violence has been kind of normalized one way as well. Like there's some stuff that we shouldn't have tolerated in our society, especially with some of the shootings that have occurred. I don't know. Like I'm still thinking about a lot of people that like who was that one guy that just shot the two protesters on the street?
Kyle Rittenhouse?
No, not Kyle Rittenhouse. The one that didn't have like a reasonable argument. He was like the older dude.
No idea.
He looks kind of like George Lucas if George Lucas was pissed off.
No idea, dude.
The guy who shot protesters.
I'm hearing the story.
Oh, it might have been the guy who shot protesters in Panama and the praise that he got.
No idea, dude. I have no idea.
It
was from Panama. I don't know anything about it.
Oh, it was an American lawyer. I'll put it in the Stages text chat just for context. You must.
Okay, wait. Now it sounds familiar though. Oh, yeah. I did hear about that. Yeah, I saw that photo. And yeah, he does look like George Lucas.
Yeah, like him, like getting praised for shooting those protesters for inconveniencing him because they were just like standing on the road. Like, I don't think that's death penalty.
Yeah,
all things considered.
Yeah.
But like he got praise from the right, and now the left are praising Luigi. That social contract is breaking down. Like,
that.
And it probably does not help him listening to Rise of Evil right now. I need to pause that shit. It's around my brain.
So wait, why did this guy just shoot two random protesters?
No, because they were just standing on the road in the way, and he was kind of fed up with them standing on the road in the way. So
so was it like the whole protester standing in the middle of the road, drive through them?
No, yeah, but he shot them. He got out of his car and shot them.
I mean, it's not right.
Certainly not right. Not even slightly right.
Yeah. Like I don't think killing people because they inconvenience you is the right answer in our society. That is not something we should be normalizing.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not right. I don't condone it, but I understand the emotion.
like, yeah, you could like understand someone getting angry, but like, damn, like you didn't need to kill two people.
It's like, chill, bro.
But like again, though, like we are entering a state where a lot of people are just ready to want to do untold violence to their neighbor. It doesn't matter if they're left or right. A lot of people are just excited for the apocalypse, and that's never a good sign. Myself included. I'm part of the problem.
Well,
at least you're willing to admit it.
Awareness is the first step to the cure.
Yeah.
Everyone's excited for the apocalypse until they realize they're part of the 90% that's probably going to die.
No, I'm ready to starve to death in the woods. I'm so hyped for that, honestly. Like, dying a cowboy death would be so cool. I want to relive the Oregon Trail.
I would actually probably do rather well in the woods, but then again, I'm an Eagle Scout, so I have qualifications.
Okay, so I gotta recruit you to my, like, wizard compound that I'm building. Got it.
Shadow Wizard Mini Gang.
So
I will build myself a wizard tower. No, I'm not the wizard. I'm gonna pay a wizard to protect me after I build this tower, so I can have my tomb cursed.
No, shut up for a moment. We're building our apocalypse D&D party.
No,
you're the wizard, Oh wait, if you're not the wizard, you're the druid because you're on all the stuff and you have like all the mystical things, aka the drugs. Clement is
Give me the
paladin.
rifle. I'm the what?
You're the paladin.
No.
Okay, you would be a paladin.
No, I wouldn't.
You would be a paladin. You are
Believe
like
me,
a
I
priest
wouldn't.
tonight.
And
Okay, I am. I have been getting more religious recently. I won't deny it. I've begun praying more often.
High church
And,
Anglican looking ass.
And I'm 110%. But yeah,
I was always personally leaning that way. I always went to Baptist churches because I could never find a freaking good high church that wasn't freaking had a woman as a pastor.
Yeah, like next you're gonna become like what, a Manichaean?
Don't even know what that is.
It's some fucking like Silk Road
Oh, wait.
religion.
Oh, yeah, I know, man. Yeah, Manichaeans. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah. Like the weird, like Zoroastrian Christian thingies.
Christian mixture, yeah.
They got a little bit of Gnosticism sprinkled in there, like
Yeah, a
all
little
these
bit of
good Eastern
Gnostic.
religions.
Yeah.
I honestly think Gnosticism is just a really bad adaptation of Buddhism at this point. It's like if someone learned about Buddhism in the worst way possible and then tried to combine Plato with it.
Yeah.
It's Buddhism as appropriated for Abrahamic religions.
No, well, like Gnosticism isn't uniquely Abrahamic though. It's literally just like you got Gnostics that don't believe in the Abrahamic religion, but Gnosticism's weird. I think about them way too much.
What if it's just Buddhist Mormonism?
No, like it's more that Buddhism has Gnostic elements that like Gnosticism seems to fixate on a lot more, because like I've met a lot of Buddhist Gnostics and I'm like, it's okay, I guess they're compatible enough. There's no contradiction here. Okay, you hate the material world, why don't you? Okay, fuck you. I don't know.
Anyway, you're the druid. Clemens is the paladin. I'm the elf ranger. We need a good artificer.
I don't know. I've never played D&D. That's some.
I'm gonna say an artificer. I have a feeling it's probably gonna be crap. Hold on. What's his name? Hold on. Hold on. It'll be Thomas.
That'll
What's
work.
an artificer do?
Basically a mechanic or an engineer.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why, but I have a feeling it'd be Thomas. And if you're wondering why it took me so long to think about what his name was, I didn't want to use his real name.
You had to do the quick correction to online username. So
I know. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to. Yeah, exactly. I try not to
those
say
are like quick time events.
I mean, if we want to talk about like the two people who are in our audience right now, Joe and Frederick, what would we say Joe is?
Joe
is the wholesome guy that we all love, no matter what.
Joe is the
NPC.
That's just him normally.
Joe is the bard.
And I mean that in the most complimentary way possible.
Joe is the bard. Yes.
Oh yeah, bard.
Yeah, Joe is the bard.
What about Frederick? Bard and NPC that was adopted? Honestly, when you think about it, practically.
Real.
I'm gonna be honest. I know this is gonna sound really bad because I'm an engineer by trade, but I could never be an artificer because I am a piss poor mechanic. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, not useful during zombie apocalypse. I'm noting that down. You're not getting in the compound anymore. Eagle Scout is way over.
I'm very useful for like wilderness skills and actually kind of rather useful in combat, but I'm just not a good mechanic. I'm good with electrical stuff. Like I'm a fairly decent electrician, but I never got the hang of mechanical stuff.
Yeah, fair enough.
But if you need me to wire a house, I can do that.
Okay, so when I build my Waddle and Dobbs shack out in like the mountains of Virginia, I'll invite you over to do the wiring.
I could probably build like a small hydroelectric generator.
Okay, that's honestly okay. This is me like yapping about my dream project of buying land, which I'm probably gonna do somewhat soonish. Depends on what, like, if I can find land that's good enough. There's this beautiful land with a river, and I couldn't get it.
You couldn't get it?
No, I could not get it.
No!
Okay, like that land was too good to not be scooped up almost instantly, though.
Yeah,
like it was sat for a month or two.
That was like the high quality.
Yeah, like it also sold for like 500 grand, like so like 200 grand more than what it like was listed for.
Yeah,
and even then I was 200 grand short.
Now
Oh,
watch
yeah.
some rich suburbanite cut down all the trees, make a big useless lawn, and then put a levee on the river so they have a private pond. Watch them do it.
No, I want to build a castle with the castle contractor.
No.
Oh,
He's
you're talking
saying
about the
that's
guy.
what,
No,
that's what
the
they're
guy's
gonna
buying
do.
it for hunting ground. It's like zoned hunting.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair. Honestly, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, also, it's too mountainous for like
Yeah, it's too
that kind
mountainous
of
for that.
development.
Yeah, it's way too mountainous for that.
If anything, like if the guy's gonna commercialize it, he's probably making it a private hunting lodge,
Yeah.
which is like
So,
again not the worst use for that land.
so
Or probably
Kenneth, you know of this property then?
Yeah, he showed us it.
yeah.
He
We literally
literally
had a whole conversation.
he literally DM'd both of us the frickin' property.
I don't remember that DM. Which
I very much do remember
Yeah,
that
okay,
DM.
I'll just send it to you again. You'll go, oh, this property with the beautiful river. Wow, you couldn't get that? Oh, that's so sad. And that's how it's gonna go down exactly.
well, oh, that is. When the apocalypse comes, we go to this property and we from whatever poor schmuck actually
315
Okay, new plan.
acres.
who's down. What?
Like
Wait.
it was a nice property for what it was.
But seriously, what do you think of my plan?
I feel as if getting out there is gonna be more inconvenient. You're more likely to run out of gas, and you're basically just living through The Walking Dead because you're just gonna be in rural Virginia.
Okay with that? Either that or y'all come across the Appalachians and we hang out in the Hocking Hills, which is also basically West Virginia light.
Like a lot of it is like, oh wait, that's Pennsylvania land. I don't want that. I want to stay in my great state of Virginia. I was born here and I will die here.
Nah, bruh, come to Hocking. We have cool sandstone caves. Like, seriously, have y'all
No.
ever heard of Old Man Cave?
All we heard was old man cave.
That's exactly what it was. It's called Old Man Cave. That's 110% what it's called. And the reason it's called Old Man Cave is because the way the stone is eroded, it looks like the face of a man.
Okay, it makes sense.
It's
I
out
guess.
in the Hocking Hills. It's part of the greater Hocking Hills Park, and we have a few other caves too. It's very beautiful. Putting a picture in the stages chat now.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna need at least 50 acres. Oh, okay. That's
By
not
the way,
bad.
we've been going for almost an hour now.
Oh, okay. We've been yapping long and hard over here.
Supposed to be a fun episode, so I'm not really worried about us yapping.
It's gonna be the new year by the time we click stop recording.
Real.
Ooh.
So what is everyone's New Year's plans? Let's close out with that.
I have friends coming over on the eve, or well, the day before the eve, so I'm just gonna be probably hanging with them.
My youth group at church does something every year, and the pastor that runs it organizes a county-wide scavenger hunt. So that's what we're doing. It's called the Amazing Race.
Nice.
Huh.
Very nice.
So we spend like 3 or 4 hours just driving around the county looking for stuff. And like it could be random tasks. Like last year, he made us drive out to Walmart after Walmart closed and help push in shopping carts for the Walmart people. That was one of the tasks. Another one was finding a random tombstone that was over 200 years old out in the middle of the county, in the middle of nowhere. Mind you, we're doing this while it's pitch black dark out and there's snow coming down.
No.
What about you, Clement? What's your plans?
Nothing, like always.
That's sad.
You don't gotta point it out.
Welcome to my life. Thanks for letting me know.
But you had to act like fucking Jerry Seinfeld there and punch a man while he's down. Like, you don't hit George Costanza when he's down. He's already George Costanza. He's already got that going for him. And that's hard enough.
Never fear, Clements. I'm gonna invent a teleportation machine so you can join us for the
I'm
scavenger.
never using a teleportation machine.
Yeah, you're gonna get like stuck in the what's it called?
No. I just the fact that just the freaking what is it? The one they use in like Star Trek, it like literally disintegrates you and creates you. Like that scares the ever loving shit
You know,
out of
you can
me.
get stuck in the
No,
And I
in between that when they transport your
yeah,
data.
I know. No, because that thing, the idea that scares the ever-loving shit out of me, and I refuse to ever use anything like that. I will never use a teleporter. I don't care how it works. I will never use it.
I wouldn't use that. That would bug me too. I would
That
just rip a hole
scares
in the
me.
fabric of
That
space
and
and
like people have like I've seen like some of the comics people have made about like talking about it, like just isn't that kind of scary with how the fact they just clone you and they kill off the original you, like, and I'm like, yeah, that scares the shit out of me. It's
I'm
not
not.
right. It's not natural.
It's kind of
I'm
metal
not
though.
in the whole
It's
disintegration and reintegration. I'm in the department of ripping holes in the fabric of space-time to walk through.
Okay, that's playing God though.
yeah.
If God meant for man to open time dimension portals, he would have given us that ability from the get-go.
Yeah, I agree with. Should I call you by your freaking name on your official
Yeah, my new name. I have been confirmed.
George's
This is
confirmed. The confirmation hearing was a success.
Also, I
uh,
found my house for the apocalypse. It's perfect.
I literally live like right next to a freaking military base. That's a terrible idea, by the way.
yeah, no, it's not a good life. Your economy struggles as a result.
Who,
Except
me or?
no, like, well, I'm near a military base too, and all we
Yeah.
have are vape stores with gambling machines in them that sell a lot of kratom, like so
Well,
much.
actually,
kratom.
my county actually began to
now?
boom as soon as my county actually began booming as soon as the government actually started implementing that the base population would be counted would actually be counted with the county. Because then after that, people realized, oh hey, there's actual money to be made here, and everyone started coming to the county, and the population exploded.
Wait a minute. So that's how you pronounce it, kratom? I always thought it was pronounced kratom or kratom or whatever.
Nah, kratom.
What
Kratom
exactly is kratom?
basically gives you a high like like an opiate. Basically, like people use it to wean themselves off of heroin. So it's therapeutic in that way, but it also is something that doesn't really show up on most drug tests. So people in the service will use it because it gets around those things. Like I've tried it once, didn't really like it. I don't like being high on opiates.
I just heard it was cheap and not very good. That's what I heard about it.
It's a cheap, shitty high that you would get at a head shop, but it also is something that acts like baby's first opiate, like how Delta 8 can act like baby's first weed.
In Ohio, before we legalized marijuana, we always had shops that sold kratom, and I always wondered what it was. And everyone was like, Kratom Life, and everything like that. I just thought it was weird. Like, what is this? Like some kind of dollar store hash that's legal?
No. The dollar store hash back in the day was like the research chemicals they'd sell children, and calling it marijuana, and then you'd smoke it and see demons and get addicted to it. Like,
who are you? Is this what if autist?
Well, okay, honestly, he's cooking. We need to get him to smoke salvia next. I want to see his salvia demons. I want to know who talks to him. But we can cure him if we feed him enough psychedelics.
What are the names of the demons? Rudy, what are their names?
Do you see the incel planet? Are they revolting? What is their aura?
What
is the smell of the colors on the planet?
Well, no, it wouldn't be like that because salvia is the same stuff that the Mayans would take, Mayans and Aztecs would take before committing blood sacrifice.
That was a voice crack right there.
Mine?
No, I had a voice crack. I went, oh.
Oh, I thought your mic just peaked.
No, that was a voice crack. That was a voice crack. I shouldn't have said anything. You just thought it was my mic, but no, that was a voice crack right there.
Yeah, no, but like this is the drug you take before you get ready to sacrifice a man to the sun. It's a terrible, haunting high. Lasts about 8 minutes, as long as DMT, which is the active ingredient in ayahuasca, which is what Vault his took. The fact that he took ayahuasca is a fascinating choice compared to smoking DMT.
Wait, what's the
You're I'm gonna be
drug?
honest, you're speaking Greek to me, basically.
Okay, DMT is just like it's a chemical that releases in your brain near your death. It's what we think causes near-death experiences and stuff like that because it's a powerful psychedelic. What like smoking it is like the direct way to inhale it. It goes right to your brain, all good. When you ingest it, you need something that breaks the blood-brain barrier, which means you have to do like a full system purge, avoid alcohol, avoid nicotine, avoid any other substances, even caffeine, because that will go straight to your brain when you take the MAOI, I believe it's called, which is the thing that breaks down the blood-brain barrier. So that means he did a ritual. He did an ayahuasca ritual, not just like because like I made DMT.
Yeah.
And the thing is with that, it's a whole process to extract it. It's really gross, really bitter smelling stuff. And like it's just such an odd choice.
Yeah.
We might see a stranger what if altist. Like I think he's probably going to go back to using ayahuasca, especially if it felt this like revelatory to him. Like
Drug that can like ruin you the first time you take it.
it doesn't ruin you. It depends on how like it ruins you
might be
without
a different
education.
drug. It might be a different drug I'm thinking of, but I know there's like this weird drug from South America that people tell you will 110% ruin you if you take it.
Like DMT is known for kind of ruining people a bit, but that's because people they take their brain making like a psychedelic experience and giving them ego death a lot differently than, any other psychedelic experience. They treat it like an awakening. And sometimes it like I don't know if DMT does this, but I know psilocybin does reroute like your brain's chemistry. So if you take it once, it does rewire you a little bit.
Yeah.
But with DMT, like, if you're going into it thinking it's going to be religiously prophetic, you're in for a bad time, and you're probably going to end up starting a cult
Yeah.
because you're thinking you're graced by God.
There's a reason why I don't really trying to find your faith through those kinds of means doesn't end very well.
Yeah, it's like this is general rules for taking a psychedelic is be in a safe space of mind, and like a lot of people go into it for an escape. That's one, how you have bad trips that just traumatize you, or two, how you mess up your life because you get the wrong messages from it. There's no right message to get. It's your unfiltered subconscious. Like,
yeah,
it's gonna throw whatever at you.
Yeah.
And people treat these things kind of like toys. Like, think about all the kids that were using Galaxy Gas that we saw for a brief period of time.
Oh Lord.
We have a society that is kind of Huxleyan.
Yeah.
We're definitely getting there, but I do think there's going to be some good news, because I've thought about the Huxleyan society in A Brave New World, and one thing I realized about that society is it's not sustainable.
Like, no society is sustainable, though, but, like, it has an impact even if it collapses in on itself. It's like, if 1984 as a system is technically not sustainable, the only thing that keeps it sustainable is that the proles don't really know better.
Yeah.
If it collapses, the impact of what 1984 had, or the regimes there had on history, will still stay. Like, even if we move to a post-Huxleyan period where we're not reliant on as many drugs and stimulants and stuff like that, the impacts of that will still be with us. It's kind of like how microplastics are going to be with us for a while, and we're not going to know really the impact of that fully for a while as well.
Right, I'm not saying it won't have an impact. What I'm saying is the problem with Huxleyan society is that the society manages to keep the hedonism constant, but hedonism doesn't get constant. It builds. And so eventually, when the hedonism reaches a certain point of critical mass, the Huxleyan society will just eat itself.
Well, like, I think that's true to a degree, but hedonism can maintain itself constantly if it's in certain forms. It's like, again, I'm going to go back to the Galaxy Gas or even the DMT that we discussed earlier. Those things are things people can take in a short amount of time that give them a level of euphoria. It's like the opioid epidemic. Opioids are good at basically giving quick hits of just pure joy that you get very addicted to it, and you can make them for pretty cheap. So it doesn't need to be everyone's happy in their hedonism. It's just they need to have something that's a constant numbing drug effect on the society. Like, we're Qing China in the opioid epidemic, basically. Their version of the opioid epidemic. We're going through the same weakening of our society because of that, because we don't know how to recognize a social illness. We just kind of view it as only legalistic and stuff.
Yeah.
We don't have the cultural institutions to really manage this, and as it gets worse, and as things get worse economically, which, like, it didn't matter really who won, Kamala or Trump, I feel as if the market's due for an adjustment, and that will not be good for anyone, I feel. Because we've become so reliant on service economy to hold up our economy.
I mean, yeah, so it's the service part of the economy is the only part that's actually we're actually exporting more of than importing. But it's also the fact that the U.S. economy is so consumption-based. The entire U.S. economy is based off of consumption. The U.S. is one of the lowest saving or consumption to saving rates in the world. People don't save in the U.S. They just consume.
Yeah, and
It is literally the consumer meme. Like, everyone here is just a consumer.
well, like, we also kind of made our empire to be the endpoint consumer. Like, I was talking to Lionheart actually earlier today about this, and like how the endpoint consumption. No one really thinks about how much we consume. Like, I've talked about this before with like banana republics and stuff like that, but like, we've built an entire empire just to consume and just to cover ourselves in hedonism and whatever we want whenever we want.
Yeah.
That even the lowest of our classes tend to have better access to stuff than most of the world. And people don't really acknowledge how much kind of blood that takes to maintain. And when that starts to break down, how bad it will break down as soon as we stop getting the benefits from being that endpoint consumer.
Yeah.
Like, people think San Francisco, Los Angeles, all those cities are bad now. When the service economy collapses because all the people that are like consuming from that, which are like the professional middle class, the professional managerial class, like, all are out of a job because of a stock market collapse. It'll just, I don't know. I'm just pessimistic for the future.
Well, then we should pray for the future.
You should always be praying for the future. If you're not praying for the future, do it now.
We're not asking. We're no longer asking.
You shouldn't stop praying. You should keep praying.
30 decades of the rosary now.
I mean, you should ask God to teach us how to pray. It's the most important thing is we need to know how to pray.
And with that, I think we should say our final prayer for the evening. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thy is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Heavenly Father, we pray for the year to come. We pray that in a world that's spiraling out of control, you share your light with us once again and lead us on a path of righteousness to a better future. In Jesus' name, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you for joining us this evening on Monarchist Minute. We will see you next year. Ha ha. Ah ha ha ha.
Ha 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 ha.
We'll see you next time, same place. If you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. If you're watching this or listening to it elsewhere, make sure to follow us. Follow us on social media. Send us an email or join us on Discord if you want to help out the cause. Until next time, may God bless you. May God bless the United States of America. Thank you, and good night.